Let's give a warm welcome to contestant number 16.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When I think about today's world, it seems to me that there are more takers than givers. In addition to asking what I will take away, I have now begun to ask myself what I should bring in. So what do I mean by saying bring in and take away? What do these two questions have to do with ecotourism? I'm going to explain it to you in this way. First, let me share with you an example of bringing. 2 summers ago, I went to Changdao, a small island near Yantai. During the night, I heard strange baby-like crying. Islanders told me it was stray cats that were calling in the wild. Well, it was strange to me to see so many stray cats on such a small island, so I asked the locals for more details. Then they told me a surprising and sad story. The island is isolated in the sea and originally had no cats. 10 years ago, when the island was developed into a national park, tourists began to swarm in. These visitors from all parts of the country brought in money, but the rubbish they left drew more and more rats onto the island. Islanders therefore introduced the cats in order to get rid of the rats. But when the number of rats decreased, the number of cats increased, and the cats began to prey on birds, chickens, and fish. For more than a month after that, my mind was haunted by the plaintive crying. So now whenever I travel, I always bear in mind what I should bring in, because I don't want to bring anything that is strange, unneeded, or even dangerous to my destination. Now let me explain what I mean by saying take away. In a remote village in Yunnan province lives a kind of butterfly that is bigger than my palms. Luckily, when I was there, I was able to see some of those unusual butterflies, and I even took away 2 specimens as souvenirs. Last year, I went there again, but to my surprise, I could not see any of them at all. Villagers told me that most of those butterflies had been netted and made into souvenirs. To make matters worse, the plants that depended on those butterflies for pollination also died, and consequently, so did the animals that depended on those plants. At first, I thought that I was only an innocent bystander in this sad story. But when I saw tourists taking away hundreds of butterfly specimens as souvenirs, I began to realize that I was actually part of the tragedy. It is the souvenirs in our hands that contributed to this disastrous series of events. Nature is harmonious because of the chain of life that exists everywhere. It is possible for us to maintain a balance between the needs of man and the needs of nature. But nature is also fragile. Every minor damage in one link may result in an ecological disaster. So when we travel, we must not only experience nature, but also take the responsibility of protecting its harmony. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 centuries ago, Benjamin Franklin asked himself these questions every day. What good shall I do this day? What good have I done today? These simple questions guided him in his path to becoming a good man and a respected leader. Now, we are faced with a great mission to promote tourism while preserving the ecological balance. Again, I think we should also ask ourselves 2 simple questions in order to make us responsible tourists. What should I bring in? What will I take away? Thank you very much.
The question for your impromptu speech is, what's your view on public displays of affection, such as kissing on campus?
Okay. Yeah, from your love, I can see that it's an interesting topic. I can remember that when I was a freshman in an oral English class, my foreign teacher came into the classroom and wrote down 3 characters on the blackboard. PDA. Now, what is PDA? I wondered. My teacher told me that PDA stands for public displays of affection. At that time, I think that concept is strange. But now I am a junior, and in the past 2 years, I gradually realized that this concept is actually not far away from me. To be frank, I can understand the boys and girls who show their affections publicly on campus. Imagine when you find someone that you love so much, you find the rest of your life, and even someone you want to share the rest of your life with. It's natural for you to do this. And I think they need displays of affection to show their love. But, I say but, we should avoid too many public displays of affection. Why? If I am a boy who studies and lives lonely, I think it's really a torture for me to see boys and girls kissing each other and holding each other tightly just beside me, right?